Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special event as part of the Oriversary. My name is Lifdoff, and I will be running a Plando within the Randomizer. The Plando is called DashWithFriends, and it was written by very prolific Plando author Spinesheath. And yeah, let's just get into the run, and Xemsis will be joining me on commentary. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, hi Lifdoff, thanks for having me. So yeah, as you mentioned, Spinesheath's DashWithFriends, originally Dash in Progress, remade for 4.0 with a bit of extra juice that we got from the 4.0 render and also a nice Dash spawn. Can't believe that, Dash in our Dash plan though. So as Liftoff mentioned, this is a randomizer. That means it's a randomizer seed where every single pickup was hand placed. Like for example, these 50 XP, which were actually hand placed for convenience of blowing up brambles, which Liftoff is going to do immediately and collect some more EXP. EXP routing sure is a thing in this, right?
Yeah, EXP routing is actually very, very tight in the early game. Like, if ideally you should be within a 3 XP window to level up to destroy a bramble wall and glades. If you miss it, it just costs a bit of time, but we do need to get one more additional level from leveling up in order to have enough ability points to get charge dash, because we're skipping one ability cell that is actually intended to be collected earlier, because it makes our routing nicer. And that's the first part of the run. We're going to head left into glades and collect everything we can with just dash and nothing else. And then we're going to find a lot of ability cells, and that's going to allow us to purchase charge dash, and then the run really starts.
Yeah, as Liftoff mentioned, this is a dash plan though, and what is dash if not charge dash? That beautiful sound, the loud bangs as you zoom through all of Nibel, and for now, we actually need to get there, and that means collecting ability cells. It should be, can I do math? I think it's 9 total that we need?
Yes, it's 9 in total.
Yeah, I should know that, seeing how I run rando, but math
Yeah,
is hard.
I'm
Going
I'm on
for a
one
fish
I'm
lure here?
I'm on 1
Okay.
HP. That's a little scary, but it should be fine. Yeah, we're fine. So yeah, this is
Alright,
some
and
more
got a
XP.
nice fish lure here. Nice.
This is some more XP that we have to collect from the 2 fish to get the level up I was talking about earlier. I'm going to play this a little safer, just because I am on 1 HP and I don't want to die here. And yeah, and I think I'm okay XP wise. When I come back from over here and collect the XP of the slime that I just killed, that should level me up. It might be a little low. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, a little low. That's too bad.
A
So I have
single
to.
XP missing.
So I have to wait around a little here to get to destroy that bramble wall. But it's better to be a little low than to be too high, because then you have to kill the bramble wall with sign, and that really takes time. Also, I'm missing all of my dash glides today, so I can already tell you probably not a new PB, but that's fine.
Yeah, you've been, I think when you showed me this route, you were at like a high 28, so things have happened a bit.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
the,
I've it was a little bit of my goal to push the time of this run below the current All Skills world record. Of course, that's a super arbitrary margin because the 2 runs have nothing to do with each other, but I'm happy that I succeeded.
Alright,
Okay.
and now we start abusing save anywhere. We need an extra ability cell, but we also only have a single energy cell right now, and we would really like to get charge dash and immediately use it. That means grabbing the save anywhere all the way from the teleporter until we actually collect the extra ability cell. And yeah, that means we do get some of that quality rando gameplay where you don't get to see anything of the screen because a giant ability menu is hiding all of it, but that's
I mean,
just how things go.
it could be worse. We could not be on the rando DLL, and then you would see even less. Okay. Yeah. Not a great first split, but we'll see. Let's see if I can roll some of those 19 seconds back. The next part of the run is collecting energy, because charge dash costs energy to use. We will be getting charge dash efficiency, which halves the energy cost, but that's still a ways away. And we do need some more energy. Until then. Once we have enough energy, we're going to be taking a Frankie walk into Grotto, which is one of the scariest parts of the run, because there is no energy to make a backup save. Yeah, I'm on 5 energy now, and I'm going to get one more on the pickup above the Frankie walk, and then it's off into Grotto. But I need 1 to get up to the door, 4 to open the door, and then another 1 to get through Death Gauntlet. So I cannot afford a mistake in this part.
Yeah, I've been seeing this a few times. This is actually really, really scary, but at least the first part is yeah, everyone has done this who has run Ori before. Getting good Billy for a bit of a walk here over to the right of the screen, and then we would really, really like to use our 1 million energy to place a save. Sadly, everything left of the energy door is a no save zone, so we don't get to do that.
That's bad.
Oh,
Well,
and
okay.
that rocket jump wasn't high enough, so luring
We go
again.
again.
At least we have a safety save right before and are not like all the way at dash tree or something.
I mean, if we were a dash tree, I'd probably take that. But yeah, I know what you mean. Oh god, and my lures are all screwed up. This is a well, I've had better runs. Let's just put it like that. But at least you can see that this is truly a scary part of the run, and not. And yeah. Okay, let's make sure nothing happens now.
Alright, let's go back to the wall. Hopefully get a high height rocket jump this time, and that's looking a lot better. Very nice. And now here we have a single energy left. Don't jump into the Frankie. Alright, we are good. And now we can get our Frankie to stomp the floor for us, drown even though it's an amphibian, and we finally have energy to safety save again.
This is an interesting part that took me a lot of time to figure out when I was running this plan though. How to get through here without wall interaction. This is one of the ways. There's other ways you can go through the bottom, but you don't get that health cell pickup that I just got, which is a nice bit of safety. We're now taking a save anywhere from here. We are going down into Grotto, but we're going into the left side, so if we just fall here, we'd have to teleport back up and do it again. Doing a save anywhere here and then falling to the left is a lot quicker, and it also allows us to collect another ability cell on the way down. We will be mainly using
free bridge skip.
basically, yeah. We will be using ability cells mainly to skip cutscenes in this run, because now we have the ability from the tree that we need. Okay. There is a backup here if you missed that. And we pick up Swamp TP, which lets us out of the lower part of the map and takes us upstairs.
Yeah, now it's walking time, isn't it?
A little, yeah. But we are going to get charge dash efficiency shortly, so that's at least going to increase the number of charge dashes we can do. And our next goal is to get up to the Grove TP, as you can see on our splits on the right. Now we also start another part of the run. One part of the Plando rules that Spinesheath has written for this Plando is that key dupes are not intended and not allowed. So we are going to honor that and not key dupe, which means we're going to have to collect a total of 12 keystones throughout this run. I think it's 12. Yeah, 4 for Sorrow, 2 for Grotto, 2 for Swamp, and 4 for Ginso. So we're just going to be picking up keystones wherever it's not too far out of the way, and that's our first one. We're going to get another one down here on the Sea Flame tree, where I'm also going to be using a technique that's useful in rando sometimes, where if you save here to skip this tree animation, the wall on the right doesn't load, and you can just walk through it. Not super important here because we do have the tools to break it, but it can be quite useful in other cases. And then we're going to pick up the Grove TP here and teleport there to get out of here, because otherwise we would have to walk from Swamp TP again. No wall interaction as of yet.
Yeah, there would have been interesting routing with Frankie manipulation and rocket jumping back out and then somehow figuring out how we skip the cutscene with all of that. Or Spines is just nice and places Grove TP right there, so you don't have to backtrack or do any of that, which is convenient to say the least.
Let's not die here, please. Oh, but I'm good. We gotta save off. This is an interesting room. It took me a while to figure out a good rocket jump setup here. Thank you. Please load game. Thank you.
Loads in games are always fun, and our timer does not stop for that, so I actually have to deal with that.
And this is an open world seed. Maybe we should mention that. Which means that that lower door in Valley, which is usually closed, is open by default. It also means a couple of other things, but that's the big one that's relevant for our run. Yeah. Next stop is this pickup up here, where I'm going to lure this bird over to get a rocket jump off of him.
Also a bird that has seen quite a bit of Plando use, sometimes with double jump stomp, then this time it's a rocket jump lure, but one way or another it gets us to an important pickup, Glide.
Yes, and Glide is actually, it's going to be a little more important later when we use it to get into Sorrow, but it's also quite helpful in Misty, where I think we're coming up on the hardest trick of the run.
Right, so this, the original sequence break in the original, you can get that pickup with a just charge dash, and we need some more energy, yeah?
Super low on energy. Something went wrong with my experience routing. Okay.
So what we wanna do here is we wanna aggro the frog and then dash out of his range while he's still shooting, which will allow us to break open that floor by redirecting the frog shot with a single charge dash. I don't know if it sounds easy, it's simple to explain, but it can be quite finicky, especially to get the timing on the aggro range.
Usually, it's fairly consistent, but nothing's been consistent today, so I'm not exactly surprised. Come on. Yeah,
it wouldn't be a showcase if not at least one trick
went catastrophically
was giving
wrong.
us a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Might wanna try dashing a bit later.
Yeah, probably. Well, not much to say about this trick otherwise. So I didn't exactly prepare 1 minute or 2 minutes worth of commentary for this trick.
There's another version of this trick
there we go.
where you rocket jump. Oh, nicely done. Alright, the moment we start talking about alternatives, the original one rocket jumps off the bird and stuff, but now we've done it, now we have climbed, and that means we can continue through Misty, yeah, but resources are looking a bit tired, so
I'm
gonna have to be a bit careful here. Alright,
I might do this, go over here for this energy crystal. That also means I can skip a different keystone, but while we're improvising, might as well. And I'm also going to skip the cutscene down here, probably. And then we should be back on better energy terms.
Nice updash is there to get over some enemies, and yeah, as you mentioned, no Etsu storage skip here. We are kinda low on energy.
Yeah, so the problem was the XP route normally works out in the way that that you level up when you're killing all the enemies to set up that charge dash redirect at the start of Misty. So afterwards you have a lot more energy than what I currently have. I also guess I know which keystone I'm skipping because I completely forgot about the one on the right. But luckily I picked up an extra one. There are other keystones I would have liked to rather skip, but no, I've skipped this one. And we're finally through Misty. That was a bit of a pain, but we made it to the other side.
Yep, and that gives us the Sunstone, one of those things we don't get to skip unless someone conveniently places a warp to R1 in their seat. So good to have, and that means we can now leave Misty and be done with this.
Yes. Since we didn't really talk about it, but we did pick up Climb after doing that C-dash redirect at the start of Misty, and that gives us wall interaction, and that allows us access to Blackroot Burrows. There is a fairly precise way to get in here without wall interaction, actually, and I think me and a couple of other people independently discovered a way to make it a little easier, and it kind of breaks this plan though a little. I haven't done enough testing to check whether it's substantially faster, but it feels like both routes are about the same speed, and the one that goes into Blackroot earlier does have that Blackroot entry trick, but is otherwise a lot more conventional. So I'm showcasing this route instead. I'd be interested if anybody wants to put in the time which route actually has faster potential, because I'm honestly not sure, but yeah. But as you see, if you get into here, you get double jump very early, and double jump can be used as wall interaction, and so a lot of the troubles that you have in the early game where you have no wall interaction at all, you can like skip them, and yeah, it's just a completely different run at that point.
And yeah, that was the call to someone come raise my category with me.
I wouldn't complain. Yeah, this is... Even in Plandos where you have dash, this room is just always slow. There's really not much you can do to speed it up, unless you have like, I don't know, bash grenade or grenade jumps or something, where you can like skip all of this auto scroller. But even then, you'd still have to do like the cutscene shenanigans here. So it's just always Blackroot is like always a slow room or a slow area.
We do need to skip and stack multiple cutscenes here. Going for the rekindle version here, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is, you're gonna see that in the run after this too. We're gonna activate the statue and then take our little trusty orb with us back to the right to rekindle the save now that we have safety light. And once we reload the game again, the statue cutscene will be playing, as well as the look at the tree cutscene, and that will all stack together in us playing many different cutscenes at the same time and allowing us to move during it. And that gives us Stomp, and yeah, Stomp, Charge Dash and Double Jump, that's a pretty good combination, I would say. It is time to get more trees and also to get more skills while we're doing so. This is an all trees run, and that means grenade tree is not optional. Luckily, Stomp was very conveniently placed, so we do not need to do a Frankie lure, even if the Dash Crusher Frankie lure would be pretty thematic, I would say.
It would be very thematic, and there are Plandos out there. There are Plandos out there that force you to do that if you're into that kind of thing. But we do have Stomp in this version, so yeah. We're picking up Charge Flame here. We don't really need Charge Flame for the run, but it's on a tree, so we might as well take it. And up next is a very interesting trick. Xem, do you want? Well, we're going to get Glide first, but after that we're coming up on a very interesting trick. Xem, do you want to talk a little bit about Sad Frog?
Sad frog. So there is a small little frog next to a keystone up in Sorrow that people generally never visit, or if they visit him, all they do is bash him off the cliff and then leave him alone. And at some point, Spines and me were just playing around with some stuff and realized if you have Stomp, you can actually use that frog to break a certain wall, and suddenly all these blenders started, all of one little frog.
Yeah, it's a very influential trick. I'm also we're also talking about a trick that's coming up, and because I wasn't anticipating having trouble on this, but for some reason I'm not getting my double jump out of the stomp. Yeah, I don't know. This is a little bit of a cursed run today, but yeah. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, and there's convenient wind right at the entrance of Sorrow, and then we can break the Kuro rocks that we do need to break, because it is a tree after all, and as you know, all trees means actually collecting trees, even if they look like they are a feather. It's a tree in its heart.
Yeah. It also gives us a very convenient energy refill. This is the last energy cell we'll be getting for the run, so we're ending up on 9 energy cells and charge dash, which is really like, yeah. Which with charge dash efficiency is like 18 C dashes, so I'm going to try to zoom, but I'm also going to play it safe because this run has had enough screw-ups already, so.
It's all good. Alright, rocket jump into the load trigger for Upper Sorrow, and it's set rock time, right? So what we talked about is this little froggy here, in his own little place. If you stomp him in just the right place, he will fall down on the little platform below. I think the stomp might have been a little
the stomp
far to the left.
wasn't correctly placed, and I forgot to place a save. This is like not great. Okay, change of plans. Let's, while we're waiting for that frog to respawn, let's do another frog trick.
The SBS version of the rocket jump here, and
I don't think it
if I had audio, I could tell you if that hit, but I do not.
This one should.
So
this one should hit. Yeah, there we go.
Very nice. There's the screen shake effect. Yeah. So in all skills, we can just bash the frog up and then rocket jump straight up. Sadly, if you do not have bash, you do not get to bash a frog. So what we need to do instead is lure him all the way to the side and then do a pretty precise angle actually on the rocket jump, because we need that shot to pass between the bridge and the wall without hitting either of them. And yeah, in the end we got there.
So right now I'm just, I don't know, walking around a little and doing shenanigans, waiting for Sad Frog to respawn. I really should have just placed a save there before going for it, but it's been like so consistent in my last sessions that I didn't bother. Yeah, and it ended up costing me even more time. I think he should be back now. Yeah, there we go.
Very nice. Yeah, just luring him to the left so we actually get access to our save up there in the little lip. And then we're gonna take an intentional death probably to reset. Oh, he had enough health. Nice. I did not know he can take a C-dash and a stomp like that. And with this, we now need to do a stomp redirect on the frog shot while also being high enough for the frog shot to actually be able to reach the ceiling up there. So we're gonna use glide in the wind to kind of bait out the height of the shot a little bit, and then get a precise stomp that doesn't even look closely like it connects, but hitboxes are great in this game, so the ceiling breaks, and now we need to look up to actually find the bird above us so we can charge dash off of it, and very nice, there's our fall on TP.
This is, yeah, normally, yeah, we're a little bit behind on the run, and it's not been going great, but there are some cool tricks in here, and I'm happy that I can show them. I'm going to place a safety save here. It's like not worth it having to redo all of that. There is a health refill here anyway, which is nice. Okay, so you might ask what we need Forlorn for, and that's a good question. In Forlorn there's the final skill we need, charge jump. And that's really going to open up everything. you don't technically need it. With the skill set we currently have, we just picked up wall jump here, not a super relevant skill. It would be relevant if we were skipping charge jump. With this skill set that I currently have, this seed is finishable, but it's also a huge pain. And
yeah, that's one of the top 2 hardest escapes, I would say. This version is probably the harder one of the 2, actually, where you have to do some fire racing shenanigans on wall jump, triple jump, and then in the final room. Let's not do that. Let's just get charge jump and make it free instead.
yeah, exactly. And now it's just a collectathon of collecting the remaining trees. We were down in Grotto once, but we didn't have wall interaction. There are ways to get to double jump tree without wall interaction, but not within the scope of this plan though. Yeah, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, check out Igor's Bizarre Adventures for some truly degenerate stuff you can do within this game. But that's a story for another plan though. For now, we just waited until we had a way to gain height in the form of charge jump and also wall interaction to make this free.
And also, while we're doing that, keystones are still not all collected.
Yeah.
So we do need those too.
Next stop is Stomp Tree, where we are going to be picking up the water vein to allow us access to the Ginso tree. Then we're going to collect the Bash tree, and then we're out of here. Yeah, this final part, it's fairly standard to anyone who has played a couple of rando seeds. Not a huge amount of like dash content, I guess, left, but it will feature prominently in the escape. So at least there's that. Did not plan on falling down there, but at least the water's kind of slow, so you can recover.
And also, the only use of charge flame that we actually that actually gives us speed in this.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, it also makes the fish in the final escape a little bit easier to deal with.
Yeah, poor charge flame. If you have charge dash and grenade, it's just so niche in its usage. But hey, we actually got to give it a nice use there. To break the floor just like half a second faster than grenade would do it.
I mean, we don't have grenade, so...
Oh, true.
We could do like save anywhere shenanigans with Stomp and Charge Dash there, but Sea Flame is a lot faster than that. And we also won't be getting Grenade. Grenade is located in Upper Ginso in this plano, and it locks Bash, which is in Lost Grove, so we won't be getting either of those. But this is still a very comfortable loadout to finish the game with. Yeah, I didn't get quite the height I wanted there, or I waited too long, so I didn't actually have the height to skip that cutscene. But what are like 8 more seconds at this point? Who cares?
Look, it's just some lore for preparation of some of the runs coming up. We do have quite a bit of lore today on the schedule, if
I'm
you
very
look
excited
for
for that.
But not right now. Right now we are finishing the Ginso tree with charge jump. For Ginso tree without skipping the entire thing, you're gonna need to wait until next run when Cream is going to play all skills, where you don't actually gain charge jump before you go into the Ginso tree.
That was also our final keystone that we got there. So our keystone routing ended up working out. This is a cool tech that you can do here with Charge Dash, where you can skip this entire puzzle by redirecting that shot at the correct moment. I missed it on the first attempt, but it's still substantially quicker even if you get it on the second one. And you can also absolutely massacre the mini-boss and kill him in one cycle. So that's also nice.
Yeah, both things that aren't really working without dash. So even Ginso had some nice dash things here, and then taking an intentional dash on the left to do a nice ghost door, and that gives us our final 3 in a tree, bash tree in the Ginso tree. Also gives us our final cutscene skip here. Not quite enough for ultra defense, but triple jump is nice too.
Yeah.
Now we just teleport to Swamp, go over to Horror and finish the game.
Easy as that. Earlier versions of this route collected some more ability cells because I thought that you actually kind of needed ultra defense. Turns out you don't really. There's one damage boost in the final escape that is not impossible, but that's hard to avoid. But even with that, we should be fine on the 6 health that we currently have, because the water is not poisonous. We picked up clean water as like one of the first pickups, and so yeah, unless something else goes wrong, we should be fine. Okay.
That's the horror door. Are we gonna do violence or is it the door walk time?
I'm going to try door warp once, but given how this run has been going, I wouldn't hold my breath for it, and I'm not going to be wasting any more attempts than that.
Right, there's the save, reloading, and trying to time an up press on the first frame, and nope, didn't get teleported. That means it's just time for some more violence, and I think we have enough energy to massacre a mini boss here.
Yep, indeed. Almost got the 1 cycle, but that dude has a lot of health, and yeah, 2 cycles also fine. Okay, and off into the final escape. What's on warmth? Let's see. Drumroll, please. We get a nice warmth return.
Yep, that checks out.
Is this even randomized?
It is a vanilla run in the end after all, right? But now we are actually in the final escape here. And yeah, if you've seen Rendo, you've probably seen an escape like this,
this
using
is a fairly common
charge
one.
jump, triple jump.
This is the 1 damage boost that you can skip, but it's a bit of a pain to do. It involves a very precise up dash, and we have the health to take it, so why not? And then we're through the fishes. This is where charge flame helps a little, but it wouldn't be a huge issue to not have it. And then we're just ascending past here, and we're on our way out of this run.
And the biggest reason we want that charge jump to actually get up the last part of the left wall. But with this width through, it's about a minute 20 or so of holding right. I always forget how much it is.
Around 1 minute 30. And that's the run. So yeah, thanks Xem for commentating this with me. Thank you for Spinesheath for making this very cool plando. I've made it look fairly straightforward, I think. Well, I did fail a lot, but but yeah, I really enjoy the plandos of this community, because they're like a way to apply the thinking that you usually do in Rando to like handcrafted puzzles essentially, and not just puzzles that fall out of seed gen. And there are some truly difficult ones out there. If you're at all interested in this part of the Ori community, then I can definitely recommend giving some of Spinesheath's plandos a try. DashWithFriends is an excellent one to start off with, and there are other plando authors out there with like some easier ones, but yeah, I don't know. I've been playing plandos for like I think 2 years at this point, and it's a very enjoyable thing. And yeah, thank you to Spinesheath for introducing this to me, and I hope I can introduce some of the very cool creations to other people in the community as part of this run.
Yeah, and thanks again for having me, Lifdoff, and GG's on finishing the run. And let's see on the schedule. Right after this, we get like the exact opposite of handcrafted rando. We get the most classic of Blind Forest runs. Primorix will be running all skills with Muffin on commentary, so definitely stick around for that. And
That's
see you all in
going to
chat
be awesome.
in just a little bit.
Have a good one, and see you, and have fun with all the hours of more Ori content to come.